We are joined by one of my all-time favorites, Mr. Tim Brown. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm a little speechless. I had no idea you were calling today, so I'm pretty fired up.
Levack, let Tim Brown do his thing here. I'm going to ask Tim the first question as you get very excited about the matchup tonight. We're going to have that matchup for you right here on ESPN Radio 104.5, the team in Albany, Chiefs versus Raiders. Tim, when you look at this matchup, is Oakland supposed to win this game? Should they be the favorite going into this game?
Well, being that the Chiefs beat them in Oakland pretty soundly also, I can see why they're not the favorite going into this game. Yeah, they played well the last 5 or 6 weeks, won games that maybe they shouldn't have won. They set the league record for penalties versus Jacksonville, but they'd still win that game. But the Kansas City Chiefs have played well, too. And so I think from that standpoint, I can see why they have the Chiefs favored, but I think this is a game that the Raiders will win. I mean, obviously, I guess I have to feel that way, but when you look at the way the two teams have been playing, I think the Raiders' offense is red hot right now, and Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvins and the guy on defense are playing very well.
Tim Brown, Hall of Famer, Heisman Trophy winner. Tim, why does Kansas City always give the Raiders such a hard time? All the way back to when you played and this season, it's just something about that rivalry. How does Kansas City seem to have the Raiders' number so much?
When we were playing back in the day, it was just impossible, man, with Neil Smith and Derek Thomas coming off the eye of the corner. It was almost impossible to stop those guys. And that was back before they had the flinch rule, So, Neil Smith on 3rd and 4, sit there, flinch a couple of times. All of a sudden, we're 3rd and 14, So it was just a very difficult situation. Always got in situations where we had to come back. We had to throw the ball a lot, and it just made it tough versus that defense that they had during those years. But when Gruden got to the Raiders, it changed a little bit, and we were able to play pretty evenly with those guys for the next 3 or 4 years.
Tim Brown with us. And so looking at this team, how did it all turn around? Like, I know it's not quickly, but this year they were supposed to be better, not this good. What do you see in this Oakland Raiders team?
Well, 3 years ago, and my conversations with Reggie McKenzie, he said in 3 years this team would be competitive. And, we're seeing that happen. So I'm just happy to see a plan come to fruition, So, I think last year they played very well and almost had a winning season, 500 season anyway. And so I thought everybody in the Raider camp believed that they would have a winning season this year. Maybe they're playing a little better than what people expected, but at the same time, I think everybody expected this team to be really competitive this year.
And this game is going to be played in Arrowhead Stadium, been around since the early 1970s. For you and your career, was this the toughest stadium to play in?
Yeah, it was the toughest and the best stadium, there's nothing like playing in a stadium where the crowd understands the importance of every play. And, I think it's one of the closest proximity from field to player, field to fan, in the league right now. So you always felt like those guys were breathing down your neck. And they knew when to cheer, when not to cheer, man. So from that standpoint, winning a game there was always extremely huge because it's a very difficult place to win football games.
Tim Brown with us right now, 104.5 The Team. The Raiders play the Chiefs tonight in a total landscape game for the AFC. When you look at a kid like Carr out there throwing the ball around, and you were through a couple quarterbacks before you got to some good ones, do you get a little jealous of Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree?
Oh, boy, I guess I'm too old to get jealous, man. But, at the same time, it would have been nice. But, we worked it out. We worked it out anyway. So I think from that standpoint, man, I have nothing to want in this situation. I'm happy these guys. I was on the radio or TV or something a couple of days ago, and I was telling somebody, this is possibly a trio that we could see for the next 7, 8, 9 years, It depends on how long Crabtree wants to play. So from that standpoint, man, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I just hope they keep it going.
And it's amazing to think about these guys like Derek Carr, still pretty young in his career, and other guys like Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, rookies having such an impact in year one. Has something changed? Why are all these young guys being so good so quick in their career?
Well, it's all about the philosophy of teams, and for years, teams believe that you don't play rookie quarterbacks, and you play rookie running backs or whatever, but you don't play them every down. If you look at where Ezekiel started early in the year with the Cowboys, he didn't play that well the first game or two. But, you keep him in there and you let him get his footing and feel for the plays and where the holes are going to be. And all of a sudden you see he's leading the league in rushing. So, and same thing with the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks just didn't play. Besides Marino, back in the day, they just didn't play. They sat for a year and a half before they got a chance. So, but that's not the case anymore. And I think it has a lot to do with how much money they're paying these guys. I believe these owners are saying, if you're going to make this kind of money, you're going to get out there and sink or swim. And most of these guys are making the best of what's happening.
Tim Brown, an icon for a lot of fan bases. For me, it's the Raiders. A lot of people, your Notre Dame days, the big 30 for 30 coming out about your school, the Catholics versus convicts. Are you excited to see that, or is it one of those where it's like, you know what, that was after me. I don't care about them.
No, I'm always, even though I know the story probably better than what they're going to tell it, I'm always interested to see what new things they can bring to light. But it should be, that was a pretty interesting time in college football, I believe. And, I think to go back and relive it in a positive way should be great for college football.
And you won the Heisman Trophy in 1987. Now, I'm a Heisman Trophy voter, and I know what it means. We're not supposed to reveal our votes. But have you been watching college football this season? Are there certain players, not to tell you who you voted for, but certain guys that really have had outstanding seasons in your eyes?
Well, the trophy says to the most outstanding player, and so from that standpoint, man, when you look at the way some of these guys have played, you can pick from one of many guys this year. I think Jackson, obviously his numbers are incredible, but did he have the most outstanding season? And you look at Jabril Peppers, you look at, Davon Cook, man, a kid who I believe is going to be a superstar in the NFL, even a Fournette, guys who, are incredible, very outstanding football players. So I think this is going to be a very interesting year with the voting, man. I think this could be a really close vote. So I'm very eager to be there tomorrow night, and Saturday night, and to see what happens.
Tim Brown, he's done a Heisman, kept the Raiders on the winning track for a very long time. And what goes on the day of the life of Tim Brown right about now?
Brother, you don't have time to hear it. I mean, we're super busy, man. Got a lot of great things happening, trying to help nonprofits raise funds, and got some other businesses that I'm working on. But speaking in churches and youth groups and men's groups, so wrote a book a couple of years ago, The Making of a Man, How Men and Boys Honor God and Live with Integrity. So we've been hitting it all over the country and just trying to do what we can, man, to make this world a better place.
And then one of the many groups that you've been helping with, Ethos Education Group. How can we help here in the Cap region?
Well, people can check out ethosvillage.com, man, and we have a character development program that we have developed that's going to launch in January of 2017. Everybody from coast to coast will be able to partake in the program, even though we're based here in Dallas. And basically what we're trying to do, man, is help these young kids. We spent 5 or 6 years pretty much combing the whole state of Texas, man, going to school after school. Me and Everson Walls, for the most part, and Michael Davis, who's running the program. But, we go and talk to these kids, man, trying to help them. We've had tremendous success. So we put together an online curriculum, man, that we believe is going to be able to help kids all over the country.
Tim Brown, before we let you leave, we are going to be broadcasting live from Houston the week of the Super Bowl. Are we going to see you and the Oakland Raiders there?
I tell you what, if they win this game tonight, I definitely think they would be there. I think this is going to be a team that's going to be full of themselves and in a very good way if they win this game tonight. And I think they'll be ready to take on New England or whoever that team they will have to play in the AFC Championship game. So if they win tonight, I'm in. I'm going to be there no matter what. I hope my silver and black is there too.
Tim, I've been stressing all day today about this matchup, but I feel like there's got to be some kind of sign that you were available to give us a call today. So I feel like we got karma and omens on our side now.
Sounds good, brother. Let's hope so.
Tim Brown, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we'll catch up with you in Houston.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.